joined Caseload coaching from Denovo. Whole practice management software built for modern law firms. Your practice performance matters.
Hi everyone, and welcome along to session 1 of Caseload coaching. We're all here for the first time, so it's probably best if I give you a short overview of what this is and what we're hoping to achieve from hosting these sessions with you, our partners. Before I do that, I'd like to introduce myself, as I haven't had the pleasure or chance of meeting some of you yet. I'm Grant Yuill, Head of Marketing and Customer Engagement. And part of my role at Denovo is to support the team with finding the best methods of engaging, interacting and educating anyone using Denovo software. Hosting this session is just one of the steps we're taking to ensure you have visibility over what's going on over here at Denovo HQ. Now, I'm sure most of you will know my colleague Stephen Hill, our Operations Director and 15-year veteran and legal tech expert who has been leading the charge with transforming our software over the past few years. Stephen really has played an integral part in the development of Caseload and the features that lie within it. He's worked tirelessly with firms up and down the country to really understand their pain points, and he's fed this information back to developers, and together we've created Caseload. Say hi, Stephen.
Hi, everyone.
The Caseload coaching was established with the purpose of inspiring you to engage with our team and learn how to get the best out of our software, rather than only doing the kind of bare minimum required, which you learn during your training and or the support that you've received to date. Each session aims to provide a platform that allows you to build on your knowledge, take that info, educate your teams, plus you might even learn about features you didn't really know existed. In turn, we hope this will allow you to run your business more efficiently. We've been working very hard in the background to develop online support tools like this and the likes of our Insight Hub, training and feature videos and FAQs, which now exist on our website. These webinar style coaching sessions are simply another way of us providing you with visual interactive support. As most of you will be aware, we launched Caseload back in November 2019. Some of you may have been in attendance at a launch event in the GFT. At that point, the software was ready to go live and has now been adopted by some of our existing partners as well as partners who have come on board since that time. And the reaction has been very positive, which is good news for everyone. Now, we appreciate the following the launch. Some of you may have been wondering, when would you be able to upgrade your existing system to Caseload? The short answer to that is we can start that process really as soon as you like. At the end of the session, we'll share details of how you can connect with us to start that change process. What these webinars are going to do is show you specific features of the software in more detail. It will give you more insight into the changes we have made from the version of the software you're using at the moment, and also give you an opportunity to see how beneficial Caseload can be with regards to time saving, profit driving, communication, and analysis of data. As it stands, we now have an even broader range of features that we can offer within Caseload. We're now more confident than we've ever been that we can provide you with a whole practice management solution. There's exciting new features, including the likes of leads management, automated lead and or client creation, instant dashboard management reporting, unparalleled email integration, and the simplest of time recording. And that's just to name a few. And these will all be covered in upcoming coaching sessions over the coming weeks. We're also increasing the functionality every day and adding integration to third parties such as the Law Society and integrated client risk assessments, coupled with automated annual risk assessment reports. ID and compliance checks via our integration with Amicus ID will be a standard feature. We're offering free CPD as we've entered into a partnership with Hey Legal, a mobile-first education platform offering CPD and everyday learning to lawyers like yourself. There are several other integrations that will be announced, but we'll keep you informed with that as we produce the sessions over the next few weeks. In short, there's a lot going on. The main point though is that although there are features added and updates happening on a weekly and in some case daily basis, the software is actually becoming simpler to use, and as our partners we want to ensure you are fully informed. We're going to spend about 20 minutes or so today showing you how simple Caseload is to use and talk to you about some of the key benefits. And I promise you going forward, the intros won't be quite as long as this, but we felt it was important to give you a good overview of where we're at the moment. So in today's session, we're going to cover the following. matter management and the benefits. Then we'll jump into the caseload session. We'll have a Q&A. Now you can ask questions throughout, so please feel free to do so, and we'll endeavour to answer all of them at the end. We'll talk about the future coaching sessions, which are coming up over the next few weeks, how you can get in touch with us, and how you can watch this webinar again as we are recording. So in this caseload session, we're going to introduce matter management and focus on how it manages your workload better than ever before and monitors firm performance at a glance with improved efficiencies, quicker access to important files, all available 24/7. Some of the additional benefits are on screen now. So now I'm going to hand you over to Stephen, who will take you through matter management within Caseload. Over to you, Stephen.
Okay, hi everyone again. I'm just going to start, we'll go straight into having a look at what the software now looks like. Some of you will be familiar with this, and this will be new for some of our clients who have not seen Caseload at all yet. We're going to start off with it. I'll give you a little overview of how the navigation bar now works. Across the top, everything is now on the one bar. So you've got clients, matters, client accounts, matter accounts, time matters. This also feeds down to the bottom here as well. So you can see you can access dashboards, leads, accounts, events, and time recording. If we start off at client level, what we now have on this left navigation bar is the opportunity to have recents and favorites. Favorites may be blank for some of you, but I'm sure you all have the odd favorite client that you can add in there. Basically, doing a search for a client on the right-hand side will bring up the client search, and you can do that on name, description, address, the usual ones you can search on. The search that you do last is the one that defaults to be the one that remains. If you're looking to add any of these clients in the list to your favorites, you can just click one and drag them across, and they will start to appear in that left-hand side. Once you're finished with them, and they're no longer your favorites, so you're not working on them anymore, you can just click and drag them back and they will disappear. On the Recents tab, that will list the most recent clients you've been in. They'll all appear on the left-hand side. Going into one, just double click, and that'll bring you into the main CRM window for the client. Name, address, details are all on the screen in the one page, as along with other details here. On the account tab for that, you will be able to see balance views in there. And there is a little drop down here as well, which allows you to find out other balances. Fee balance, for example, will show in here. And on this window here, you'll find the total at the bottom. On the new button, you have a range of options. A new event or email to the client will just simply create a new event for the client or send them an email out. You will put some details in there. You're also able to choose to create new client and matter account from this window as well, to speed up the creation process of how you create a new client. Clicking on the Matters tab, you will then see all existing live matters for that client and be able to go into anyone that you're looking to do work on at that time. Partner, fee earner, and office will all appear on that window as well. Sorry, so you will be able to see who's in charge of what matters. Going into one of the matters, you see the window changes, and we've now got options to see CRM analysis, and the time recording tab lives within this screen now as well. We won't cover time recording in today's session, but we will come back to that in future sessions. So going back, we're going to click on the new button again, and you see the range of options is slightly different at the matter level. New event and email to client remains. We're also able to add new things in there, like addresses. You can do new time entries from there, new debit and credit slips, and new fees and new cash statements. If we go to the events view, I'm just going to maximize the screen every second just so we can see a bit more information. You'll see we now have a document preview window on the right hand side. So any client correspondence that's came in will show up on that right-hand side. And these personalizations can be switched on and off with these menu bars up here. So on this right-hand side, this is the attachment preview panel, which will show this one here. And the one beside that is the details panel. So file notes, details, anything that was sent to the client will appear in this window down here. If there's more than one attachment, then the drop down will go live and there will be an option to do that. But you'll see that when we go back to the events view window in a wee second. The other option within that matter is my events. So this little wee person, man here, or woman, that lives within here, can be clicked on, and that will filter out the rest of the events. So it will only show my events for that particular matter. I'll just switch that back. What we now have in here at this level as well is the option to filter. So if you wanted to see events by a particular person, you're able to filter and only see those. And you'll see, depending on the person selected here and what events they have, that starts to change what's seen on screen. Other options that we have at this window is the opportunity to right-click on any of these events. So if we right-click on this letter here, you'll see we can go back to the client level. We can show the matter for that event, change the date. That becomes more prevalent if it's a planned event you were looking to change the date of, and we can change this from an actual event to a planned event. The reverse is also true of planned events. So these ones that are in red are overdue. So we go to right click and say that we've completed that planned event. You can then click and that will change that to an actual event. So you can manage your matter workload very quickly with a right click. On the events that have attachments, you'll see that you have the option to right click on that and you can email the event with attachments or reply by email. So if this is an incoming email from the client, you can reply by email in there. But emailing and attachments is something that we're going to cover in a future session, so I don't want to go into too much detail on that. The other two options up on this right-hand side are being able to export events and email multiple events. Those are slightly advanced features that we will cover in future sessions. I want to give a kind of good overview of how the software works in the time we have today on this particular one of matter management. If we go into an event, just by double clicking on it, you will see there's a lot of options in here, including the attachments tab. So this event was produced with document production. So it already has an attachment in there. If you were looking to add other files, possibly from your desktop, you're able to click on the Import from Files button, and you'll see the option to pick up anything from your desktop documents. So I'm just going to add one of these ROS forms to this one. You'll see that adds that PDF to the event. The other option we've got in here is Import from Outlook. What that will do is pick up any attachments that are attached to emails in here. So it's just going to search my mailbox. So this one here that's got a scanned document, I'm able to click on that and import. And that brings that one into the file as well. So if we go back, we can then, at this stage, we've got the event packaged up. We could put some details in here and we could email that event out with all those attachments they package up if we wanted to. We're just going to save and exit at the moment and go back and see what else is on some of the other tabs. The documents, the next one along, we'll come back to planned events in a wee second, but the documents tab, and again, we'll just maximize that window. What this will show is all emails, letters, PDFs, any event correspondence will appear in here. And you have the same filtering and searching options in here as well. So if you were wanting to search for report, you'll see, for instance, that will show up any events that have a report, and you can click on those and it filters the file a little bit for you to have quicker access to information. We can just clear that at any point and it will go back to the full file for us. The same with this here. If you wanted to just see the PDFs attached to the file, you would just click on PDF and it will just show PDFs and reports documents in the preview in the right hand side. The other option is the electronic file view in here. And what that do is bring literally the paper file to the screen. So this will go to the first event in the file and you're able to click through each one and just see what events you're wanting to look at or what documents you're looking to open at that point. If we exit out from there, we're just back at the matter window. So I'm going to close down that and I'm going to switch over to matter accounts. And I'm just going to do a search for all active matter accounts. The same options remain in here. So the matter I've just been in there recently is now shown in that first option here. And I do have some favorited here as well. I'm just going to slide that window over to the left to give us a bit more of a view on the matter account view. So what we've got pinned on the left-hand side is account code, description, and client. The created on, these are all filter options as well. So if we were only looking to see matters created in a certain time period, say this year, you'll see that will filter out the rest. So we can quickly see what ones have been onboarded in the last couple of months. If we wanted to see on these accounts views, we can start to filter on the amounts. So I'm going to take fees outstanding as an example and change that to a penny. And you can then see it's only going to show me clients with a fee outstanding. And this can be sorted on as well. So if you wanted to search from low to high, you can see the higher ones will now show. What we've got in here is totaling at the bottom as well. So what you can now see is our total fees outstanding are sitting at 26,434. If you wanted to export that to Excel, you can easily right click and that'll export that report out with those totals at the bottom as well. So you can quickly get reporting on certain key metrics you would want to know about the firm with these filtering capabilities. And those exist across all of those balance windows. So down here is the option to switch that off. So I'm just going to clear that filter. And that's us just back to the main view. The further options here we've got in matter account view include work type, partner, fee earner. So if we wanted to group matters by fee earner or any of these, you can just click and drag those up. And you'll see that starts to filter out by, or group them out by individual fee earner. So you can see each one with subtotals as well. So you can start to see which fee earners have the most fees outstanding if that's something you were interested in looking at. There is sub-filtering available on that as well. So if you wanted to filter by fee earner and work type, you can drag that up. This is getting slightly advanced, but you can then see what work type each fee earner is got on the go. There is a lot to that. There's a lot that you can do. There's a lot that you can see. So it is fairly detailed as a process. If you're looking to go back to your main view, you can just bring them back down. These columns here can be hidden. So individual preferences might be that you don't see all of these amounts. So you can hide those on the right click options. And that gives you a slightly more condensed view, especially for possibly a secretary who's not really interested in are not needing to know rather a lot of this information, then they can start to see that. Last posted and last feed also exists in there as well, so you can see when a client was last feed. I'm going to move on now to the events window. What we've got in here is colorization of different events. So the green ones are the in planned for today and overdue. So these green ones here are the ones that are due today. So the ones I've got to complete today. The red ones will be overdue items that need attended to. And the next tab is up and coming, and that will show up and coming planned events. The last option is today's events, and that focuses on actual events that have taken place that day. So again, those document preview options appear in here, as does the personalization icon. So clicking on that will take off those first few events, and it will only show me my planned events for that day. Clicking on that one, the right click options appear in here as well. So if you wanted to go straight to the matter for that one, you see you can jump just into the matter window from there. Just going to open this planned event here and just go over some more event options in there. So you can choose the event type and subtype and the summary, and you can put some details in here if you're going to email this event out to the client. What we've also got in here is user. So what you can do in here is you can assign a different user this event. So if this was a planned event that they needed to take action on, you could assign it to that user, and what they'll get is an Outlook style notification, which will mean they have an action point to take on that. So they'll get notified in Caseload that the event exists and they have to do something with it. And that then feeds into their planned events for today. So that will start to appear in there. And they'll have to do some work on that. That covers events in the majority. The documents window is in there as well. So clicking on documents will basically show all documents that have happened for events in that day. So you can start to see everything that's been sent out and actioned on that day. Double clicking on one of those will open that in Word. So you can make any changes you wanted to do and click and save. We just wanted to fill that account number in if you now had that information. You can save, close that down, and you'll see that's now updated in that document. So that document can be printed, emailed out to the client as it's now ready to go. So there is a lot of options in this events window. If you do planned events and you have that, if that's part of your kind of daily working life, you can live within that events window and flick between those and see what you've got to do and what you've got to action on the overdue events. If we just go back to an account, I'll just pull this back out in here. Have a look in here. You see document production exists within there. So document production for that particular matter is very simple. You would just pick document production, select the style template, and that will just run the document for you. And obviously save that as an event to be sent out. That event now appears here to be sent out. At the matter level, we also have linked companies. So you see in here we've got a few linked company options. So we could write to everyone in this list, or we could write to one or two people on this list. Clicking on document production, you see gives you the option to choose which ones to write to. The templates that exist within the system. I'll just pick one as an example. You can put the summary in here. You can put details in here. You can also create a follow-up event. So what this will do is create this event type and subtype with this summary. You can put the details in there. And you can also create a follow-up event. So if I'm looking to get something back next week on that event, I'll just create a follow-up and finish. So I may be wanting all three of them to have come back to me with some action points by next week. So I know that these three letters have all gone, they're available to be printed and sent out to each of the three individual companies. And I can then go back to the event window and see that's my letters there for sending, and that's my planned event now in blue for next week to follow up on that. If you're only looking to see planned events, there is the option in here to switch on just planned events. So if you knew you had actions that needed to be taken and you just wanted to look at the planned events, you can do so within there as well. You can also do a straight email to the client from here. And that will just pop up Outlook with an email out option. I have Outlook switched off because I didn't want any emails coming in. So there it is. You can simply email that out and email out to the client from there. Sorry about the slight delay. I just didn't want any notifications coming through while we're running through the webinar. So as you can see, there's a lot to cover. We will be doing a lot more in future episodes. There will be the option to ask questions at the end. We wanted to focus this week on matter management, and I think we've covered quite a bit there in terms of how that works on a kind of basic level. There's a lot to Caseload. A lot of you will be familiar with the existing software. So there is a culture change, and there's a lot of different features available within Caseload, which does make things a little bit quicker. So what I'll do is I'll leave this for now, and we will come back to further communication in the future episodes.
Yeah, so hopefully that all made sense to everyone who's joined us today. If you have any questions, there's not many coming through at the moment, which we totally understand. So we do want to make ourselves available to you so that you're not having to ask the questions right now. But before we give you some contact details, I just wanted to talk about the next few sessions that are coming up. So on the 11th of March, we will be focusing on email integration. On the 18th, we'll be focusing on client communication, and on the 25th, we'll be focusing on time recording. So these webinars will be taking place at the same time, 3:30 every Wednesday. The time and dates and day are a trial at the moment, really, until we establish a day and time that really works for the majority of people who are coming on to join us. But for now, we'll stick to Wednesday at 3:30. So if you do want to ask any burning questions, then you can get in touch with Stephen following on from this. His details are there. We'll also email you out with the contact details just in case you don't have them. I'm sure all of you will. And you will also have the chance to watch session 1 again, as this entire webinar has been recorded. It'll be available to watch on our website within the next 24 hours. The link is on your screen now. However, it will be sent to you directly once it's ready to view. So just keep an eye on your inbox tomorrow for that landing, and you'll be able to watch it again, because we appreciate that you'll want to skip by, especially you can skip the intro, etc., and just go straight to the software itself. So folks, that's the end of our first session. I'd like to thank you all very much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and we'll hopefully see you next time for some more caseload coaching.